Being attractive isn't a mystery. Being unattractive isn't either. Today, we go through exactly what's working against you and how to fix it before it costs you. We're going live, baby.
We'll do it live.
You're listening to the premier podcast for men who want to not only be better with women, but want to be better men in general. This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host,
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer.
Paul Bauer. He is a certified master life coach and NLP practitioner.
It's true. It's damn true. Happy hump day, guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer. I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about doing that is it tends to make us better men in all areas of our lives. Today's topic is one of the most fundamental concepts in Red Pill. Be attractive, don't be unattractive. Sounds obvious, but we're going deep. We're going deep on exactly what that means. Physically and behaviorally, with specifics, not generalities. If you want to know what actually moves the needle for women, you're in the right place. Brother Jeff from Wolfpack suggested this as a refresher episode because it's something that gets thrown out a lot. You know, oh, well, the key to being good with women is to be attractive and then just not be unattractive. Okay. And then when black pillars or MGTOW guys hear that, they're like, oh, it's easy for you to say you're 6 foot tall or whatever. You know, it's like that. That's not what it means. It's not a throwaway, a throwaway line to take a dig at the women. There's something to it. There's some substance to it. So we're going to get into 5 ways men are physically unattractive and 5 ways to be more physically attractive. Okay. Which is all this stuff that I talk about today is 100% in your control. You can't control how tall you are, but you can control if you're overweight or not. All right. And then the other things are behavioral, right? So 5 things that make you behaviorally unattractive and 5 things that make you behaviorally attractive. Okay. So we're going to get into all that today. It might be a short episode because we've got 20 things here, but there's only so much you can say about this sort of thing. You know what I mean? One thing I will say, I just posted it on social media and I get a lot of flack for this, but I talk about it in depth in the new book, which I can't say out loud. I'm pointing at it though. The guys who are listening to audio, they can't see what I'm pointing at, but if you guys are watching right now, I'm pointing at the girl holding the new book. Okay. It says link in the description there. That's where you can pre-order the new book. But I talk about this. I talk about this quite a bit in the book about when you want to try something new in the bedroom, it's terrible to ask her verbally, hey, you want to try this? Because what you do when you do that, you take her out of the moment, okay? And you put her in her analytical brain. And now she starts thinking, her hamster wheel starts going about, do I want to try the thing? Or do I just want to experience the thing, right? Like now she's thinking about it. And the whole key to a great bedroom experience is to get her out of her head and into her body, get her feeling, okay? Getting her into the moment is what's going to make the experience so much better for both of you, okay? Now, what I just posted on social media, this always gets me flack, but I talk about it in the book. Verbally asking for consent is the same thing. Okay. Verbally is, do I have your consent? May I, right? Like women want to experience things. Okay. So when women say, you need to have consent, what they're really like, when they're saying that, they're weeding out betas. They're weeding out beta males who will verbally ask for consent. Okay, what they really want is a guy who's perceptive of their body language. And when their body language says that they're not into it, you pull back and you don't make a big deal out of it. You don't get butthurt by it. Okay, you're just like, oh, okay, cool. You're not ready for it. No problem. Cool. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. All right. They want a guy who's perceptive. That's women. Okay. Like, you can be mad at it all you want, but what you're really being mad at is that they're not being men. Okay. If you want to date men, then go be gay and just go date men. You can verbally ask for consent all you want. You can verbally talk about this stuff all you want. Okay. Women want to feel. All right. So 5 ways men are physically unattractive, because that is more of an example of behaviorally unattractive, which we'll get into. But 5 ways men are physically unattractive. Number 1, you're out of shape. Number 1. Okay. Number 1, excess body fat, no muscle tone, poor posture. They telegraph low self-discipline. Women notice this sort of thing. Okay. Now I'll tell you what. A lot of guys hear things like women will say, I want a dad bod. I like dad bods, right? Here's the thing about dad bods. It's a lie. It's a lie. Okay. Now, if you look at like the original articles where the whole idea of a dad bod came out of, they were looking at guys who were still in pretty decent shape. They just had a little bit extra body fat, just a little bit extra. Right? They weren't fat. They weren't fat guys. But then just like fat women appropriated the term curvy, fat dudes appropriated the term dad bod, and they're like, "Oh, I totally got a dad bod." No, you're fat, bro. You're fat. Okay? So you got to do something about that. And what you'll find is women who are like, hitting their epiphany phase, and they're just getting out of their epiphany phase, like in their 30s and stuff like that, and they're looking for a beta male guy to settle down with, they'll say that I like chubbier guys. I like guys who are, I like dad bods or whatever. And the reason why they say that is because they're looking for a guy that will let themselves go too. They don't want to try anymore. Okay. So then what happens is she gets with you. She stops trying to be in shape. And like, she spent her whole 20s being looking like a goddess. And now she's just going to let herself go because she got a guy that's enabling her. Okay. And then she still doesn't want to bang you because she's not attracted to your fat ass. Okay. We are not at the 8-minute mark. Guys, send super chats today. I'm probably going to get demonetized for that little outburst, but so being out of shape is number 1. Okay. By the way, guys, do like, subscribe, hit those notifications. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday without fail, by God. The next one is wearing clothes that fit. Okay. A big problem that men have, specifically like bad daters, guys who are in dead bedrooms, stuff like they like to dress for comfort rather than for appearance. Okay. So they'll wear clothes that are too baggy. They might even go the opposite direction. Maybe you are a little bit overweight and you're wearing clothes that are too tight and it's showing off your rolls a little bit. Okay. There's some nuance here. All right. If you are a bigger guy, wearing tight clothes isn't going to match your frame well. You've got to find clothes that fit your body type well, that look good on you. Okay. And most of you guys are dressing too casual to do that. Okay. So fit matters. Fit matters more than brand or price. You don't have to go out and get Armani suits. You don't have to go out and get name brand stuff. You don't have to be a brand hewer. Okay. We can't say the WHORE word. All right. Which is sad because next week on Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the Madonna hewer complex. And the Morgan May is coming back on the podcast just to be a rabble rouser. I always like having her on the show. So wearing clothes that don't fit is unattractive physically. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're wearing clothes that fit your body type, and you want to go back to number 1 and get into shape. Because guess what? when you're in really good shape, and I'm not out here being in the best shape of my life, but the thing is, I don't have to be, because if you look at all the guys around me out here in the cow pasture, they're all corn-fed country bumpkins. You just have to be in better shape than the next guy, okay? In your area, you just have to be in better shape than the next guy. Now, if you live in Miami, if you live in Los Angeles, if you live in Vegas, right, where there's lots of like ripped buff dudes everywhere, you got some work to do, okay? But if you live out in the cow pasture like I do, dude, all these guys are country bumpkin, overweight slobs, all right? I just have to be not fat, okay? That's it. Just being not fat in America puts you already at the top 25% of dudes, okay? Because we have an obesity problem here, okay? So if you're in great shape, then you can wear a burlap sack and still look good, okay? But until then, you need to get clothes that fit. Bad grooming is another thing, okay? Unkempt hair, overgrown nails, patchy beard with no defined edges, nose hair. Details matter. Now, here's something that I find frustrating, which is funny, because when I first read the book, Dr. Robert Glover talks about this, and I hadn't experienced that yet, but Dr. Robert Glover talks about how when you get to a certain age, your hair stops growing on your head and it starts growing everywhere else. It's fucking annoying. Now that I'm past my mid 40s, I'm going to be 47 this year. It's like my nose is growing a fucking afro, and I'm like, fuck, I'm always having to like trim out my nose hairs. My fucking ear hair starts growing out. I got to fucking trim that shit all the time. It's fucking annoying as shit, right? But you've got to do it. You've got to do it. You can't just let that shit go. It's unattractive. Okay. Smelling bad. Okay. Smelling bad. Body odor, stale clothes, going heavy on cheap cologne to cover it all up. None of that works. Okay. You can't like cologne's good. Cologne's a good thing to do. Like, I highly recommend getting cologne. All right. Duke Cannon cologne is the best cologne out there for the price. $25, proper cologne. It's a liquid panty dropper. I swear to God. Okay. They're not sponsoring the show either. That is a full endorsement of their product, though. I have a bottle of Duke Cannon for every day of the week. Fucking love that shit. But you can't go not shower for 3 days and think that you're covering it up with deodorant and fucking cologne. You can't. You can smell the body odor permeating through all that nonsense. And then you have a mix of body odor and fucking cheap ass cologne. It reeks like shit. Nurse Chick and I, we went to a live pro wrestling event. I think this might have been the first live pro wrestling event I took Nurse Chick to. I'm friends with Manny Lemons. He's a promoter out of Utah. He's been on TNA Wrestling. He's been on AEW. Okay. Manny he runs his own wrestling school out in Salt Lake City, and they put on wrestling shows, I think every month. I think they put on a show every month, but like once a quarter, they'll actually have like WWE legends come in and wrestle, and you can get autographs and stuff like that. And he had Diamond Dallas Page come, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So Nurse Chick and I went and met Diamond Dallas Page. We met Eric Bischoff. We met, oh God, what's the guy's name? The walking weapon. I can't think of his name right now. Alexander, Josh Alexander. We met him. And, we also met Camille. At the time, she was the NWA world's women's champion or something. Anyway, we met all those guys, and the entire room, we were in this really big yoga studio, which was funny. And we probably had maybe 200 people packed in there, and it fucking reeked in there. Just all the pro wrestling nerds and their fat, disgusting asses who haven't showered in 3 days, and they're trying to cover it up with fucking cologne and cheap ass cologne and whatever, or deodorant, cheap ass cologne. The whole room fucking reeked of disgusting incels, right? That's what it was like. And Nurse Chick was even like, "Oh man, these guys need to shower." Like that was her thing. I was like, yeah. A lot of pro wrestling nerds are like this. A lot of them are, which is funny because I one time took my kids to an indie show in Denver, And the people there weren't like that. I don't know what is going on with fucking Utah, but there's a lot of smelly ass wrestling fans in Utah. And then when Nurse Chick and I went to WrestleMania, imagine an entire stadium full of fucking disgusting fat wrestling nerds that smelled like shit. Okay. That's how it was. It was fucking crazy. You know, it's funny. I posted a video of us walking through the crowd, and one of the brothers at Wolfpack goes, Jesus Christ. He goes, 80% of the people in that video are obese. I was like, yeah, that's pro wrestling fans, bro. That's that's a sad thing. So smelling bad is physically unattractive. Okay. That's number 4. Guys, what's one physically attractive thing that you see other guys do that they're completely ignoring, that they have full control over? Let me know what you think in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, drop a comment below. What do you see other guys doing where they could dramatically improve if they just did the smallest bit of effort, like take a shower, right? Let me know in the chat. My brother, okay, my brother is a legit MGTOW guy, legit. Like he's had one girlfriend his entire life. Okay, now everything, his problems with women are 100% on him. 100%. It's not these fucking evil women out there. Go to merch.comeonmanpod.com. Coffee tastes better in one of these fucking red pilled mugs, guys. Anyway, my brother is a legit MGTOW guy. Okay, he's had one girlfriend his entire life. He hooked up with this heavy set goth chick back when he was in his 20s, and he moved her in with him and everything, and my mom fucking ruined it. My mom just comes up and she can't fucking keep her mouth shut. She's like, you're just so good for my boy just, he's not been very good with women, and I'm just so happy that you're here and all this stuff. Women don't want to be with a guy who's not good with other women. Like, women want to be with a guy who has options, right? So immediately this chick gets the ick and fucking dump my brother. My brother's never forgiven my mom for that. But a lot of his problems are he's socially awkward, which we'll get into. That's more of unattractive behavior. He's socially fucking awkward. He doesn't shower. He doesn't get haircuts. He's fully bald on the top, right? Like we all know, I'm not fully bald, right? Like we did the hair reveal a while back. I was shaving my head for the last 3 years, right? But my brother is legit fully bald on the top, and he grows all this out so it's long on the sides. That looks fucking terrible, okay? The Hulk Hogan hairdo is not attractive, okay? And he grows it all out, and then on top of that, he never showers, so it's always greasy and ratted and disgusting. And then he wears clothes that he never washes, and he wears clothes that don't match. And then he walks around. He walks around with Crocs. He wears Crocs shoes all the time, or he wears sandals. His feet are disgusting. He's got long, disgusting toenails and stuff, and he walks around like this all the fucking time. It's like, no wonder. Oh, and he's got to be 300 pounds. He's got to be 300 pounds, and he's like 6'1", I think, 6'1", 300 pounds. Some of it's muscle, but most of it is big fat ass. Okay. No wonder he's not doing well with women. He just doesn't give a fuck, right? But he's just decided, well, I'm not good with women, so I'm going to just go and live in a camper trailer like a homeless person. And then he works as a mechanic and saves all of his money, and he's got fucking tons of money and tons of property. No one to share it with, but no, hey, whatever, he's happy. Who am I to tell him he's not happy? But all of these things, he's fucking completely physically unattractive. And then his social behavior makes him, socially unattractive, right? Behaviorally unattractive, which we'll get into. The last one here that I have on my list for being physically unattractive is bad teeth. Bad teeth. Okay. Yellowed, neglected, or visibly uncared for teeth are a hard stop for most women. Hard stop for a lot of women. They're a hard stop for me on women, right? I got a horror story for you guys. Okay. When I went out when I was out spinning plates, there was a chick that I almost hooked up with, and I almost didn't because of her teeth, for one, but then it gets worse. It gets worse. Okay. So I meet up with her in her profile pics on, God, I think I met her on Plenty of Fish or something like that. On her profile pic, she looked attractive enough, and she would always smile like this, right? Smile like this. Just her top teeth. Her top teeth were okay, right? They weren't too bad. But her bottom teeth were so fucking mangled and gnarled, right? So when I met up with her in person, just this fucking gnarledness on the bottom teeth just had me like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can deal with this. Maybe I can look past it. I don't know. Anyway, we ended up going on a second date. She invited me back to her house. This happened to be the night before the lockdowns, the COVID lockdowns. And so I go to her house and we're making out, everything's getting hot and heavy. And I reach down in her pants, and her fucking pubes are longer than fuck. They're like Rapunzel pubes. Like, you could braid that shit into a rope. It was fucking gross. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then luckily, thank God, she gets a phone call. She worked for a private school district out here. And the principal of this private school fucking thing calls her because they need a plan for remote work. And it was like, she was like an assistant principal or teacher. I can't remember what it was, but he calls her up to start talking about this stuff. I excuse myself to the bathroom. I'm looking at myself in the mirror going, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Like, her grill is disgusting. She's got fucking Rapunzel pubes. You need to get the fuck out of here. So she was having all these, this call or whatever. I was like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and take off, I hope you get things worked out or whatever. And so I left. And then I just never called her again. Like, fuck that shit. Right. So it works the other way around. If you have fucked up gnarled teeth, invest in yourself and get that worked on. Okay. If your teeth aren't that bad, like straighten wise, like if you have relatively straight teeth, you just have yellow teeth, like go get whitening strips, right? Like, a couple of years ago, like my teeth were really bothering me. And I was doing like these, like, if you look at my early TikToks, my teeth have always been relatively straight. I was blessed that way. But my teeth were getting pretty dingy and yellow. I'm a coffee drinker. I used to be a smoker years ago, and but I'm still a coffee drinker, and that stained my teeth so that they were yellow, right? And so I'm watching my TikTok videos, and I'm like, God, I fucking hate my teeth. I hate my teeth. And then my friend Benny Lichtenwalder, who I mentioned on the podcast periodically. He's a breakup coach. He's got 500,000 followers on TikTok or whatever. He had these bright gleaming teeth in one of his videos. And I go, bro, like, legit question. Like, what do you do to get your teeth that fucking white? And he goes, oh, I use the generic whitening strips from Kroger, And I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's all you do? And he's like, oh yeah, that's all I do. And so I went to Walmart and got the Equate brand of whitening strips. And I just made it a habit of, like, for about, I don't know, however long it is, 30 minutes a day, just 30 minutes while I'm like, working on stuff, put those whitening strips in, and it fucking dramatically changed the color of my teeth to a more whitened color. It's simple. It's cheap, right? Do that. If you need a lot of work done because your teeth are all mangled, then go see your dentist, see what you can do about it. It might be too expensive. Dr. Robert Glover in Dating Essentials for Men recommends looking into a vacation dental retreat in Mexico. It's way cheaper. If you're going to pay for it out of pocket, you might as well go down to Mexico and get it done down there. And he says they do wonderful work down there. Okay. So look into that. So basically, when we look at 5 ways men are physically attractive, let's use the law of polarity and look at the polar opposite of those things, right? Being in shape, okay? Lean with visible muscle, good posture. This one move handles more than everything else on this list combined, right? This one thing, like I said earlier, if you are in great shape, right? If you are like Brad Pitt from Troy, you could wear a burlap sack and none of this matters, right? Rollo Tomasi says the greatest form of peacocking is being in great shape. Okay. So that's number one. That is 100% in your control, brother. Okay. Just take your diet seriously. Start counting some calories, maybe. Get with Dar Fitness. I don't know if he's in the chat. I haven't looked at the chat yet. Get with Dar Fitness. Maybe get on the keto diet. Get a training program going. Get in the wolf pack. Get in the fitness accountability group. Start losing some weight there. Dar Fitness is in the fucking fitness accountability group. He's a wealth of knowledge, okay? And if you want to work with him one-on-one, hit him up, okay? Especially if you're in the wolf pack already, fucking DM Drake, okay? He goes by Drake in the wolf pack. DM Drake and see what working with him might look like for you, okay? Get in shape. And like I said before, 75% of dudes out there in the United States, at least, are obese. So if you are just not fat, you're already in the top 25% of guys. Right there, out the gate. Just don't be fat. So if you are overweight right now, get that in check. Start doing something to get in shape, okay? If you join the wolf pack, I created a course a couple of years ago. And I call it my mini course, right? The basic diet and fitness mini course. It's like $27. Okay. It's, I think if you go to fit.comeonmanpod.com, you can take it. It's like $27. But if you join the wolf pack, you get it for free. It's pinned in the pinned messages in the fitness accountability subgroup. Okay. So if you're already in wolf pack and you need to lose weight, get in the fitness accountability subgroup, get that course. It's free for members. And then do that. There's only 4 exercises that you really need to get a full body workout. Okay. I go through that. And then I talk about how to do basic calorie counting with that. It's very simple. All you have to do is have a little bit of discipline with it. All right. Clothes that fit. We've already sort of talked on this, but they don't have to be expensive. Clean, well-fitted clothes that match the setting, do the job. Okay. Now I say match the setting. They also have to, match your personality a little bit. But when I say match the setting, what I mean is, if you look at a lot of dating coaches out there, a lot of pickup artists, they'll tell you like, oh, high value man wears suits and stuff like that. I live in the fucking cow country, right? I live in the cow pasture out here. I live in ranch country. Nobody wears suits out here. Nobody, not a single fucking soul. Okay. So if I walked around wearing a suit, I would look like a fucking dipshit. I would look like a tryhard. All right. So wearing a suit out here is not good advice. Wearing well-fitted Wrangler jeans with nice boots, like a nice belt that matches the boots and like a nice fitted shirt, especially when you're going out dating. Like right now, it's casual. I'm on a podcast right now, right? I'm on a podcast right now. But when I'm going out dating, I don't dress like this. I dress better. I dress nicer. I wear, I step up my gear a little bit, but I'm also not wearing a fucking suit. Now, Nurse Chick, on the other hand, she loves dressing up. Nurse Chick has like a whole closet full of ball gowns, which is funny because there's no place to wear them out here except they have annual, the hospitals out here have annual galas. And so that's literally the only thing that happens out here that requires that kind of attire. And she's only ever been to one. And I went with her on that one. It was pretty funny. And even then I didn't wear a tux. I wore my nice jeans, my nice boots, a nice button-up shirt, and a dinner, or not a dinner jacket, a sport coat. That's when Nurse Chick wants to dress up. That's how I dress. And then when we go to places that are even considered somewhat fancy restaurants out here, people are in there wearing flip-flops and shorts and stuff like that. Like we're always overdressed when we go out dressed up. So then I like to turn around and make it playful and then say, we have this thing where we look around and we pretend that we're better than everybody because we're dressed fancy and stuff like that. That's a part of creating a sexual narrative. That's in my book, Keep Your Bitch, by the way. Okay, so in shape, clothes that fit. By the way, I talk about a lot of this kind of stuff in my book, Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. I talk about this kind of stuff in Get Her to Fuck You Again, and Forget That Bitch, and Keep Your Bitch. All right. I have a new book that's coming out next week on Friday, on the 29th. It drops in paperback, hardcover, and Kindle. You can pre-order the Kindle edition right now. The link's in the description.
Have you ever had sex and honestly wondered, did she actually enjoy that, or was she just going along with it? because chances are she's had better and she remembers it. What if I told you there's a way to make sure you're the one she can't stop thinking about? Most guys think good sex is about stamina or size. It's not. The men women are genuinely obsessed with aren't the biggest or the longest lasting. They're the ones who know exactly what they're doing. They're not fumbling around hoping something works. They walk in with a plan. They read her body. They control the whole experience from the first move to the last. And when it's over, she's not thinking about sleep. That's not some rare natural talent. That's a skill set, and it can be learned. Dick Her Down Right is the no-nonsense manual that breaks down exactly how women's bodies and minds work during sex, how to take charge of the experience like you actually know what you're doing, and how to become the man she's telling her friends about. Not the guy she had an okay time with, the guy she keeps coming back to, the guy she'd do almost anything to keep happy because what he does to her is in a category by itself. Every technique, every approach, every psychological principle is laid out straight. No theory, no filler, just the real information that makes the difference between average and unforgettable. Dick Her Down Right drops on Amazon and Audible this June. Any man who wants to be better in bed and have any woman he's with completely hooked on him needs this book. Get it in June.
Indeed. Let's take a look at the comments here. Eric Von Erich says, he's back. He's back. He's bad. You're black. I'm mad. I'm just kidding. That's from Lethal Weapon. Be a billionaire. Don't be a loser. It's pretty simple, really. Listen, even if you are a billionaire, don't lead with your wallet, okay? Let the women discover that you're a billionaire. Like, take them out to drinks only in the evening. Keep it low key. Let them invest in you first before they discover that you're a fucking rich guy, okay? Let them get invested in you, and then that's just a bonus. Don't lead with that shit. Otherwise, that's how you attract gold diggers. He says, just kidding. Good day, folks. Good to see you, Erkin. Don't ask verbally in the moment. Get a written document of consent in advance. Have it signed in triplicate, and then get it all notarized. Okay, then you can proceed to the sexual activities. Signed and sealed, approved by the notarius publicus. Yeah. Oh, Dart Fitness is in the house. Good to see you, brother. He says, happy Wednesday, gents. Erkin sent 10 Swedish Coronas. You know what? I was just looking on. I was just looking at my book's pricing because I found some problems in the paperback version of the book and the hardcover. They basically use the same manuscript, and so I was correcting that. And when you go in KDP to correct your books, they always take you from updating the content to the pricing structure. And when you look at the pricing structure, it gets down to Sweden, and like I think the hardcover, because of the paper that it's using, because I'm using colored paper, because there's a diagram. There's a diagram to show you guys where the G spot is and where the A spot is and where a girl's clit is, because some of you guys have no fucking clue. There's a color diagram in there that points right here. Right here is where you diddle that bean. Okay. Anyway, the pricing for the hardcover in Sweden, I think, is like 184 Swedish Coronas, but in American dollars, that's like $20, right? So 10 Swedish Coronas has got to be like, what, a nickel? Are you sending me a fucking nickel, bro? Is that what that is? I'm just kidding. I appreciate it. Darfin says the dad bod thing is also a form of mate guarding. If you're obese, other women won't want to sleep with you, but neither will she, right? She won't want to fuck you either, but that's not the point. The point is that you're loyal because no other women want to fuck you. Woody Riley, he's a Wolfpack brother. He says, what's up, brother? Yes, I shower two, sometimes 3 times a day. Well, careful you don't dry out your skin doing that too much. Dart Fitness says, smelling bad is horrible. Invest in a damn loofah to scrub the dead skin cells off your body. By invest, they are $2. Goes a long way when combined with lotion and cologne. Don't smell like onions. You know what? Funny story about onions. This was back in the day, right? Back in the day, when my grandma met my grandpa, right? My grandpa was a farmer, right? So he and his brother were out on the ranch or whatever, or the farm, and so he and his brother, went riding their horses, because they fucking rode horses. They rode their horses over to my grandma's house to hit on them, hit on my grandma and her sister. And my grandpa's dumbass was eating onions because he loved onions. So he was eating onions, but my grandma was smitten by him. So she knew that his breath was going to smell. So that he wouldn't feel bad, she asked if she could have an onion. She ate an onion too, so that her breath would smell bad too. Like that, isn't that sweet? That's a sweet shit. Guido Slim Shady says, a little off topic, but I am on my second read of your book, Forget That Bitch. It's been 5 weeks since my breakup, and I am using your content to help me. Wanted to say thank you. Oh, you're welcome, man. Hey, if you haven't yet, get the workbook. That'll help you speed up that process, brother. And then Phil says, hoorah. Good to see you, man. Smashing like is alpha. Okay. If you guys can't afford a super chat, at least smash that like button. It's free. Brother Woody says, definitely keeping facial hair and the hair on your head trimmed up and wearing clothes that fit. Yeah. One thing that I learned from the book Atomic Attraction is that women do find facial hair more attractive than clean shaven. Now, obviously there's going to be women out there that go, no, I don't like it. Scratches up my face. Okay. We're not talking about you, Sally. Okay, we're talking about women in general. Women's solipsistic nature can't see the big picture of other women out there. They think every other woman's experience is just like theirs. Okay, we're not talking about you, Sally. We're talking about women in general. Studies show that women do like facial hair on a man. It's more masculine looking. They like it. What he said in the book, though, was that statistically, what is it? Like a two-day shadow is like what they preferred the best when they did studies on this. I can't remember exactly what it is. I obviously don't listen and grow my beard out a little bit longer. I grew my beard out, what is it, a year or two ago, where it got pretty long. I wasn't doing that for an attractive factor. I was doing that just to see how long I could get it before I just couldn't fucking take it anymore. And I let it go for the entire year before I fucking shaved it back. Brush your fucking teeth. Yes, it's so simple. It's so simple, guys. Brush your fucking teeth. Darfitness says, guys whose beard looks like Dan Aykroyd's Santa beard from Trading Places. Looks like they could hide a salmon fillet in there. Wash your beard, especially if you want women to ride it. Yeah, and that's another thing I didn't say about my brother. My brother has this big, bushy beard, and it's gross, right? It's gross. It matches his disgusting Hulk Hogan hair. $5,000 super chat. He wants us to shame these whores.
Shame this horse.
Yes. We are past the 8-minute mark. That usually doesn't get me demonetized, so I can say that. And then Woody Riley says, I hope Rapunzel pubes got clipped. Yeah, AI. Go back and find the thing where I talked about Rapunzel pubes and clip that. There we go. That should tell AI to find that spot. If you guys want to know my process with getting clips for social media, just real quick, completely off topic, but I used to use a tool called Opus Clip, which was a fully automated AI clipping tool. It's not that great. Like, their clips are mediocre at best, but it saves a lot of time. And what I found was I was still having to go into their platform and edit it back so that it would get better traction on social media. And so I was like, geez, I'm not really saving much with this. I might as well just edit this shit myself. So I created a batch script that goes through my transcript after all this, and it finds all the best things from the show, like the most polarizing type things. And then I have it instructed in there that if I say AI is going to clip that or whatever, then AI looks for that specifically and it finds that segment. So then what it does is I take this batch script, I take the fully downloaded episode, I use a tool called FFmpeg. It's a command line tool, and it runs and it cuts out these basic clips, and then I edit it after the fact in CapCut. If you guys want to get into social media, that's what the work looks like. Okay. You can hire people to do that too, but you guys aren't sending enough super chats for me to do that. So you guys need to step up your game a little bit. I'm putting it on you guys. Okay. Back to physically unattractive things, or physically attractive things. Clean grooming. We talked about some of this stuff in the chat, right? Fresh haircut, maintained beard, clean shave. Okay. But like I said before, studies show that, a little bit of stubble, actually women find that more masculine, more attractive. Okay. Trim nails, consistency signals self-respect. Okay. You at least trim your fucking beard. Just keep your beard trimmed. Okay. It's not that hard. It is pretty hard. I have a hard time with fucking keeping my beard trimmed. Smelling good. A quality cologne worn correctly. Less is more. You don't want to smell like a fucking French whorehouse. Okay. Less is more. I keep trying to tell my son this because my son he's really big into all the fancy colognes. He saves up all of his money and blows it on fancy ass colognes. And then he douses himself with it. And I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, I shouldn't be able to smell your cologne from 2 feet away. I shouldn't. Cologne is meant to be discovered, not announced. Okay. So like one spray, like on your neck or your chest is good. Like I like to put a spray on my wrist and rub it together. Ryan Stone says, don't do that because the friction causes a problem with the scent. I think that's bullshit. But I put a little spray here and then I'm good for the day. Nurse chick can't keep her hands off me. Okay. Speaking of nurse chick, she says, happy hump day. Good morning, gentlemen. Happy hump day. She's popping in. She's at clinic.
So naughty.
She is.
I'm going to come. That pussy must be ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, guys. So she's not really in the chat. She's just showing support. She just popped in real quick in between patients. She's working on her nurse practitioner. So she, a couple of days a week, she actually goes to a doctor's office and practices under a nurse practitioner. And she's got to do that for a year before she becomes an actual nurse practitioner next year. So then she's not going to be nurse chick anymore. She's going to be sugar mama. Then she's going to be my sugar mama after that. I'm playing the long game here, guys. Healthy teeth, right? So we already talked about this. Brush your fucking teeth. If your grill's fucked up, go get it worked on. Okay. Invest in yourself. Look at it as an investment in yourself. Okay. You will always feel more confident if your teeth look better. And if guys who have bad teeth notoriously try to hide their teeth. They smile like this. All right. They smile like this all the time. They talk like this because they don't want you to see their teeth. Okay. That just shows that you lack confidence. All right. Invest in yourself. You even like look into going on a trip to Mexico and having it done down there. They actually do a pretty good job despite what you might think. By the way, guys, do consider sending super chats like the other guys in here, because I would be awesome if I could afford to have guys clipping my videos for me. Okay, 5 ways men are behaviorally unattractive, right? So be attractive, don't be unattractive. Don't be unattractive means behavior. Okay, your behavior, whether you realize it or not, might be turning women off. Okay, so number 1, seeking approval. Approval-seeking behavior is unattractive. Okay, checking to see if she liked the joke, asking if she's mad, over-explaining yourself with decisions. It communicates that her reaction runs your emotional state. Okay, one thing I posted on social media. God, what was it? Yeah, I posted something on there yesterday, and it's all about the new book. It's all about the new book, Dick Her Down Right. And this guy says, I talk about it in there where when you want to introduce new things in the bedroom, like don't talk about it, like be about it, right? And this guy in the comments says, well, you got to be careful because then she's going to wonder where you learned that. Okay. A lot of you guys, because you're afraid of women's reaction, so you're afraid to do this kind of stuff. That's unattractive. Okay. It shows that you lack confidence and you need a buy-in and that her emotions rule your life. So stop being afraid of women's reactions to shit. Okay. It's all shit tests. treat everything a woman says or does like a shit test and act accordingly. Okay. You have indifference and you have agree and amplify to help you with that. So I told the guy, I said, if she says that in the bed, just playfully joke with her and say, I learned that from my other girlfriend. Okay. Like that's how you handle it. Because when you say it in a playful, teasing way, that turns into banter. Banter turns into flirting. Flirting leads to more sex. Okay. There's a method to the madness here. No boundaries or standards is unattractive to women. Okay. Accepting bad behavior, canceling your plans to accommodate hers, letting disrespect slide. Women don't respect a man that they can walk all over. Okay. Now, here's something that women will do in the early stages of dating. And sometimes it's subconscious. Sometimes they don't even realize that they're doing it. Okay. But they will try to change plans on you. You say, meet me at this place at this time. And they'll say, oh, I don't like that place. Right. Or, well, I'd rather go to this place. Okay. They're trying to control the frame. This is what a shit test is. It's a frame check. They're trying to see who's really in control of the frame here. If you acquiesce to them to try to make them happy, that's unattractive behavior. Okay. They will get the ick from you and then they don't want to go out with you because you budged. They don't want to win. Women don't want to win. Okay. So Nurse Chick did this to me. We were getting ready to meet for our first date. We were going to meet at a coffee shop. She couldn't meet for drinks in the evening. So I opted for coffee. I don't typically recommend coffee dates because they put out a friend vibe, but once you have your game down, like it doesn't matter. Like you could run game anywhere. So I said, okay, cool. Meet me at this coffee shop at this time. And like a day before the date, she reaches out. She goes, I was thinking instead of meeting there, I could go and pick up the coffee and we can meet over at the park. And I go, no, we're going to keep with the original plans. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. And she goes, oh, okay. She told me later, she goes, I don't know why, but I thought that was hot as hell. I was like, yeah, because I've been studying this stuff. Okay. So if you have no boundaries and standards, you let women walk all over you. It's unattractive behavior. They get the ick. They don't want to be with a guy like that. They want a guy that they can't get their way with. Okay. Over-investing too fast. So for you guys that are out dating right now, this is a big problem that chases women away. This was a problem I was having when I was back on the dating circuit. This happened right after my divorce in 2014. I floundered on the dating circuit for like fucking 11 months before I met Red Pill Chick. I just happened into that relationship. That's how most guys end up in relationships. They just run with the first girl that's somewhat nice to them. And then you end up in relationships that you shouldn't have never been in. And so then after that relationship ended, I fell back into my immediate routine where I was over-investing too quickly, right? I was being a needy bitch. Okay. So texting too much, moving too fast, emotionally falling like, oh, I love you so much. It's like date 3. Oh, I think I think I'm falling for you and all this stuff. Making her the center of your life before she's even earned it. It kills any tension that would otherwise work in your favor. Absolutely. It would kill tension. Okay. One thing that I was always doing, I was trying to put a label on things. I was trying to lock every girl down. Right. And so we go on like 2 dates. I'd be like, so are you seeing anyone else? Because I'm not seeing anyone else. I guess that makes us boyfriend and girlfriend. Like when you're an adult, you don't date like you did in junior high and high school where you're like, hey, will you be my girlfriend? And now she's magically your girlfriend. That doesn't work as an adult. Okay. Women are weighing their options. You need to be outweighing your options. Don't be in a rush to be locked down. Okay. Pook said it really well in the book of Pook. It's unnatural for you gotta look at a man as like a wild bird. It's completely unnatural for a wild bird, a domestic, majestic eagle to come flying in willfully into a cage and lock himself into a fucking cage. Okay. When you do that, if you're the one pushing for a relationship, if you're the one pushing to make things happen like that, it gives women the ick. They can't explain it, but you know why? It's because it's Breitfeld's law. Breitfeld's law. It's a universal law. Okay. Robert Breitfeld figured this out in the 1800s after studying tons of animals, but he goes, in all animal species, including humans, the female, not the male, determines whether a relationship's going to take place based on the value that they're going to get from that guy. Okay. Now, a lot of guys think that means money. It's not just money. Okay. So if you're the one pushing for the relationship, she gets the ick because that's her natural state. She needs to be the one that locks you down. Okay. You need to be the wild bird that's just playing the field. And then you let the cream rise to the top and let them bring up exclusivity and stuff like that. Okay. So over-investing too soon is going to give women the ick. It's going to push them away. Women are like cats. If you chase them, they run away. If you ignore them, they climb into your lap and show you their buttholes. Okay. By the way, we have a lot of guys working through this kind of stuff. A lot of guys that are dating after divorce, a lot of guys that are in breakup recovery, divorce recovery and stuff like that. If that's you, you don't have to do it alone. Okay. You can run with the wolves, brother. It's only $10 a month. Join today because tomorrow night we're having our monthly hangout, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you join today, you get a 7-day free trial. You can join the Telegram community, see if you like it, see if you jive with the guys in there, show up for the call tomorrow. If you don't like it before the 7-day mark, you can, leave the group and you won't get charged at all. Okay. There's a 7-day free trial to try it out. But if you like it, it's only $10 a month, brother. Bear Club? Not anymore.
You fix what's broken. You lead like a man again. No pity, no therapy. Just fire, just flame. Cold bed, broken home. Midlife drift, feeling alone. You don't need hacks, blogs, lies. You need men with fire in their eyes. We rebuild from the ground up. No excuses, no soft stuff. Telegram lit 24/7. Brothers locked in steel, not heaven. Step inside the pack. We don't fall, we attack. Truth, fire, presence, we bring it back. Masculine pride, no time to slack. Step inside the pack. Drop your past, claim your track. No therapy talk, no playing small. We sharpen blades, we take it all.
Too sweet me for that one, guys. Erkin sent 20 more Swedish coronas. He goes, you caught me, but size, money does not matter. Consistency is better than intensity. Appreciate it, brother. Oh, let me give him this.
I was just going to say it. This guy fucks. Am I right?
Absolutely. And because I think I missed a soundbite for the last one, I'm going to give him this one.
You're weak as shit and call yourself an alpha. Like, get fucked.
Because Morgan's coming back on next week. I want to get her reaction when I play that, when you guys send super chats. I told the guys at Wolfpack, I go, when Morgan's back on, you guys can try to woo her with like how much money you guys have by sending super chats. Okay. Cause that's what guys do when hot chicks are on live streams. They send money because the hot chick's going to see that and they're going to see that you have money and they're going to be more attracted to you. Okay. You see, so when Morgan's on, send more money so she knows that you're loaded and that like you're more attractive that way, or send super chat so I can hold her accountable. Okay. I can give her a White Claw and then kick her off the podcast to show her what's what. Okay. We can do that. Okay. It's at the beginning, I'm like, it's probably going to be a short episode. Whenever I say that, I always start running my mouth and it's never a short episode. Okay. So we're going to talk about these last 5 here. 5 ways men are behaviorally attractive. Okay. So like we're using the law of polarity. We're going to take what was unattractive and we're going to flip it around to the polar opposite. Okay. Having a life with direction is attractive to women. Okay. Having a purpose, a mission, something that you're working toward. Okay. A man with goals, income he's building, things he's working toward is automatically more attractive. Okay. Your mission comes first. Women just want to join your lifestyle. Okay. You can't make her the mission. If you make her the mission, it's going to totally turn her off. She wants to join your lifestyle and support you on your mission. Women are naturally, they want to do that. Okay. And it does say here, like, have, income that you're building. That's not for her. The income's for you. Okay. The income, the money, muscles, game, and frame. The money is for you. Don't be trying to woo women with your fucking money. That's leading with the beta side of hypergamy. It's going to shoot you in the foot every fucking time. Okay. Lead with frame and game and muscles. Frame, game, muscles, then money. Money's for you, not for those bitches. Okay. By the way, guys, follow me on social media. The link's in the description. I'm on all the good platforms. Follow me on Substack, guys. I'm on Substack now. I'm actually enjoying that platform. It's kind of like X, because they have this feature called Substack Notes. It's kind of like X, but without the bullshit. You don't have to have a fucking premium subscription just to be seen on there. Isn't that crazy? It's like, wow, amazing. I'm so fucking pissed at X. I'm on X, but I haven't been posting on there. I'm not going to post on there until July. I'm just, fuck them. Fuck them. The new book, Dick Her Down Right, has gotten more pre-orders than my last 4 books combined. And X has played zero part in that. So fuck X, fuck Elon Musk. Follow me on Substack. AI is going to clip that. Holding your frame is attractive to women. Like I said before, women don't want to win, okay? You don't change your position because she's upset. You don't apologize for who you are. You stay consistent regardless of her mood. Don't let her mood sway you. And if she does get moody, don't climb on her emotional roller coaster. Let her figure her shit out, okay? You can ask her what's eating at her. Hey, what's bothering you? I don't want to talk right now. I don't want to talk to you. You're a dick. Okay, cool. Well, you can come talk to me when you're ready, and then fucking go. Like, go do your life. Go live your life. Okay. Just, hey, whatever. I'm working on my mission, baby. I got shit to do. I don't have time to deal with your women shit. Okay. Let her figure out whatever she's fucking figuring out. Let her come to you and chase you for validation. Don't be trying to fix her mood. That's you trying to seek validation from her. That's unattractive behavior. Okay. So hold your frame. Knowing when to walk away is actually an attractive quality. Okay. Willing to end the conversation, leave the situation, or end the relationship if the standards aren't being met. That willingness is something women can actually feel. Okay. Women are more attracted to guys they might lose. AI is going to clip this one. Okay. Women are more attracted to men they might lose. Okay. So if you are squashing any kind of tension that you might leave, any kind of tension that a woman might steal you away, you're killing her attraction for you. She now thinks that you're a sure thing, and she doesn't have to try anymore. She doesn't have to invest anymore. The sex is going to start drying up, all that kind of stuff. She needs to know that at any time you can walk away or some other bitch is going to steal you away. And if she has that in her mind, she is going to invest to keep you. Okay. It's weird how that works. That's how the passive dread blueprint works. Okay. If you go to dread.fixedbedrooms.com, you can learn how that absolutely works, all the psychology behind it and why it works, and then start implementing it. The best thing about the passive dread blueprint is you're not doing anything nefarious. You're not doing anything, evil. You're not doing anything immoral. You're just being an attractive guy who's social, and women pick up on this stuff, and they start seeing that their competition is picking up on this stuff, and they want to invest more. Okay. It's really weird how that works, but women are more attracted if they know that you'll leave or some other bitch is going to steal you away. Is what it is. Use it to your advantage. Okay. Being decisive is attractive to women. Okay. Pick the restaurant. Make the plan. Stop asking what she wants to do for everything. Women are attracted to a man who takes the wheel without being asked. When I first heard this, and then I didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way. Women are so controlling. They want to do all this stuff. Women are always trying to make the decisions, stuff like that. They don't want to make the decisions, right? This is why when you ask them what they want for dinner, they always say, oh, I don't know, and then throw it back at you, and then you just get frustrated. When I started applying this and just started picking places and being decisive and just the response was like I landed on another planet. Like instinctively, women just want a guy that makes the plans. They just want to show up looking hot. It's really weird. So if you just start doing that, your life is going to be so much better. You always get to do what you want to do. There's no lose here. Okay. And what's kind of funny about this is Guys are often afraid that they'll pick the wrong place because you're afraid of her mood and all this stuff. It's like, stop, just try some of this stuff out. You'll find that your life is going to get infinitely easier. And a lot of guys are like, but I don't care. I don't care what restaurant we go to. I don't care what curtains we pick. You know what I mean? So I leave that up to her. Okay. She still wants you to make those decisions. Okay. So like, if you don't care which curtains to pick, just pick a fucking color. Okay. I like this one. Let's go with this one. All right. Well, I don't like that one. I think this one's much better. Oh, okay. Like if her, and this is where, you know, captain executive officer dynamic works out. Okay. So if she has a better suggestion, then, oh, well, all right. Well, if you prefer that one, yeah, I guess we could go with that one. Right. There's no reason not to go with hers. There's no reason to be rigid on everything. Right. But if she goes, well, I just don't know. I don't know if I don't know. Well, why don't you like the other one? Well, I don't know. Okay. We're going with this one. Right. Like, be decisive. Right. It works the same way. She'll appreciate it more. Okay. Genuine options. A man other women find attractive, who invests in himself, stays in shape, and doesn't act desperate, is a man with options. That awareness, even when unspoken, changes how you carry yourself and how she treats you. I was talking about it, I think yesterday, maybe Monday. I can't remember. I talk about it all the fucking time, but women can tell when you have options. They can tell when you're an attractive guy that other women like, just by your behavior, just how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself like a man who's good with women, she's going to just assume you're good with women. Okay. Michael Sartain disagrees with this. He talks about, no, preselection only works if you're surrounded by beautiful women, but that's also because he has courses to sell, right? He has groups to sell where you get in front of his Instagram models and you take fake pictures for Instagram so that you look like you have pre-selection and stuff like that. That works too, but you don't have to do that. If you just act like a guy who's good with women, women assume you're good with women and they think that you have options. Okay. It absolutely does work that way. All right. So if you can be a guy, you know, that's what you learn in the Passive Dread Blueprint. If you can be that guy, then women will naturally find you more attractive. Okay. Brother Jeff, I hope I did that justice for you, because he wanted a refresher on be attractive, don't be unattractive. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for the podcast. I don't see any new chats in here. Tune into the podcast on Friday. There's lots of frame-related concepts that apply to the bedroom that a lot of guys are absolutely clueless about. They're all included in the new book, Dick Her Down Right, which we'll be going over those bedroom frame options or bedroom frame concepts on Friday. So be sure to tune into that. And then otherwise, pre-order the book if you haven't done it already on Kindle. I just finished recording chapter 8 for the audiobook. So I have chapters 9, 10, and the conclusion still. So I should be able to submit for Audible this Saturday. And then it usually takes like 10 full business days to turn around. So we're probably looking at June 5th or a June 12th audiobook release. So, but the paperback and hardcover drop on the 29th. Okay. And the Kindle edition. All right. Let's see here. What do we got here? Oh, Erkin says, maybe you should write a book about how to act like you have options when you don't. I do. It's called Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. I talk about it quite a bit in there, actually. If you look at the dating and spinning plates chapter, I've broken dating down to a science, and it's all about how to create that illusion that you have options until you actually get options and start spinning those plates. Okay. In order to get the plates, you have to act like a guy who has plates. And so I break that all down in Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. You guys can find, let me drop a link to just my general books link. You can find all my books at mybook.2 right here. mybook.2/Come On Man Pod will show you all of my books. It doesn't have the workbooks on there, but if you get books that include workbooks, so the Red Pill Guide series, for instance, they all have workbooks. There's a QR code within the book itself. You can just scan that to find the workbooks if you guys didn't know. All right, guys, that's all I got for this episode. Do be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. We will see you guys next. Oh, hopefully I see you guys at the Wolfpack Hangout tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, we'll see you on the podcast on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.